I was always stuck in second place, so I decided to seduce the guy who was always first. Seeing him fall head over heels for me made me secretly giddy. I just had to wait for his grades to slip. But next month, he was still number one. I wasn't discouraged. It's a numbers game. Sooner or later, something's gotta give. I just wait. The time after that, he was still number one. The time after that, still number one. And the time after that, still number one without exception. Ah! I broke down crying as he kissed me like crazy. My plan to seduce the top student had failed. Again. After class, Thomas rushed me back to his dorm, pinning me against the door and kissing me again and again. I played hard to get, my voice all soft and sweet. Be gentle. Baby, I like you so much. I responded to him. I like you too. No, I didn't like him. More than him, I liked his grades. I liked his spot at number one. Ever since Thomas transferred into my major, I've been perpetually stuck in second place, never getting a taste of the top spot again. No matter how hard I studied, I was always chasing his tail. But I hadn't given up. If I couldn't change myself, I'd just have to change the enemy. With a little scheme, I managed to wrap Thomas around my finger. I started dating him, trying to make him so obsessed with me he couldn't think straight. Ideally, he'd be so in love he wouldn't want to study. He'd lose all motivation for anything but me. He'd think of me in class after class while eating, sleeping, even while taking a dump. That way, his grades would plummet, and I would reclaim my throne at number one and leave him in my dust. I thought all this while he was still kissing me. Tomorrow was the day I'd see the results of my hard work. Jamie, the grades are out. My deskmate, Kevin, ran over. Congratulations. I looked at him expectantly. You got second place again. I slumped into my chair. A failure. How could I have failed? Was it because Thomas wasn't in love with me enough yet? I pulled out my phone and searched on Reddit. How to make a guy fall more and more in love with you. There was a top-voted answer in the comments. First, act cute and needy. My confidence surged. I could do that. Second, give him a fever. A what? Third, want. Want what? Yeah, right. Was this stuff even reliable? I kept scrolling. Great, there were specific moves. First, act cute and needy. X. Babe, I want this bag. Can you buy it for me? Please? X. Ah. My backpack is so heavy. Can you carry it for me? X. Bunnies are so cute. How can you eat bunnies? Wah. So that's how it worked. No wonder I wasn't seeing results. I was doing it all wrong. That Saturday, I dragged Thomas out for a date. As we passed a barbecue stand, I pointed to a plate of sizzling, grilled pork belly and launched my offensive. Piggies are so cute. How could anyone eat piggies? Wah, I said, blinking my eyes dramatically. Thomas wrapped an arm around me and gently wiped away my tears. We won't eat it. We walked to an ice cream shop. I stomped my foot. I want that big ice cream cone. Can you buy it for me, please? Thomas immediately went to buy it, getting one of every flavor. I chugged half a bottle of water and held it up for Thomas to see. Ah, this water is so heavy. Can you hold it for me? Thomas immediately took it with the only 2 free fingers he had left. Is that better now, baby? I nodded. I coughed, my throat sore from forcing that cutesy voice. Thomas was so obedient. The seduction must be working. I checked for the next step. Step 2. Give him a fever. X. Kiss in front of your friends. X. Babe, feel my heart. See how fast it's beating? X. Change your underwear in front of him and order him to wash the dirty pair. I grabbed the hand that was wiping sweat from my brow and pulled Thomas toward the basketball court where Kevin was playing. Kevin. I called him over. When he got close, I threw myself at Thomas and gave him a passionate French kiss. What the hell? Kevin yelled. Did you seriously call me over just to watch you two make out? I patted the person who wouldn't let go of my mouth. I was about to suffocate. Only after Kevin had walked away did Thomas finally stop. I clutched my burning lips. Why did you go on for so long? I was so mad. They were all swollen. He leaned in and blew on them gently. Sorry, baby. As he blew, his gaze started to change. He wanted to kiss me again. I quickly pulled him away. I still had 2 more tasks to complete. In the hotel room, I had Thomas sit on the bed and I straddled his lap. I put on a horror movie. The second the ghost in the red dress appeared, I slammed the tablet shut and buried myself in Thomas's arms. I took his hand and placed it over my heart. Thomas, babe, I'm so scared. Can you feel my heart? See how it's pounding? Thomas's eyes darkened. His hands slid to my waist. After taking off my shirt, I stood up. Right in front of him, I pulled off my pants and slipped on the clean pair of underwear I had ready. I tossed the dirty pair at Thomas. I misjudged the force. It landed right on his face. Go wash my underwear. No, that was breaking character. Babe, will you wash my underwear for me? Please? He held the underwear, sitting on the bed without moving. What, was he unwilling? See? He didn't love me enough. Baby, can I wash it in a little bit? He pulled me back into his arms. First, let me feel how fast your heart is pounding. With that, he pushed me down onto the bed. By the time I was lying there in a daze, he had gotten up and washed my underwear. Third, want. No examples needed for this one. If you know, you know. I knew. I totally knew. Isn't that exactly what Thomas and I were doing right now? I lit up with excitement. All 3 moves were complete. Seducing Thomas was a piece of cake. Just you wait. Next exam. I'm going to make sure you fail spectacularly. Another exam ended. This time I was full of confidence. I walked into the classroom and patted Thomas's face as he sat in the front row. Sorry about this. One failure doesn't mean anything. Get ready for your next one. What? I was second again. Refusing to believe it, I checked the list again and again. Finally, I accepted the painful truth. My seduction of Thomas had failed again. How could this be? I checked that Reddit post one more time. I followed it perfectly. 3 steps, I didn't miss a single one. And Thomas reacted to all of them. He was totally crazy about me. Wait, if he really liked me, how could his grades not be affected? Was he faking it? I searched again. Signs a guy genuinely likes you versus is faking it. I clicked on the top answer. Fake love is kissing you, holding you, taking every advantage he can, but being cheap with his money. Real love is wanting to give you everything he has, putting all his money in your hands. I was sure of it now. Thomas was faking it. He kissed me and held me but never spent any money on me. I didn't even know how much money he had. Aha, so that's why he agreed to date me so quickly. He was pretending the whole time. He was dating me to mess with my grades, to keep me permanently in second place. What a brilliant way to turn my own plan against me. No, couldn't lose. I opened the search bar and typed again. How to make someone genuinely fall in love with you. Again, I went with the top voted answer. First, dote on him. Be super clingy and shower him with affection. Okay, that's easy enough. What's next? Second, play hot and cold. Pursue a second target to create a bad boy image. A second target? That's so much work. I have to involve someone else. Third, the reformed bad boy return. A love that's one of a kind and lasts a lifetime. Oh, I get it. It's about creating contrast. I can do that. After class, I picked up the water bottle from Thomas's desk. Babe, I'll go get you some water. You've been studying so hard, you must be tired. He stopped me. There's still water in it. I put it back down. Babe, are you hungry? I have a little snack cake for you. With that, I pulled out a small, flattened cake from my back pocket. Thomas didn't say anything. He just took the cake, his eyes fixed on my chest. What's he looking at? It's not like my chest is edible or produces milk. During gym class, I sat in the shade watching Thomas play basketball. When he sank a beautiful 3-pointer, I rushed over. I pushed through the crowd of boys and girls surrounding him and handed him my water. Don't even try to compete with me. I wiped the sweat from his brow and cooed. Babe, are you thirsty? I have water here, you can drink mine. The crowd started laughing. Jamie, what are you doing here? Don't tell me you like Thomas too? I bet he's just trying to screw with Thomas since he can never get first place. Maybe getting beaten so many times gave him Stockholm Syndrome. Oh, crap. I forgot we hadn't gone public with our relationship yet. The water bottle was taken from my hand. Thomas chugged it down in one go and, to everyone's astonishment, said, "Thanks, baby." The crowd instantly erupted. Thomas just called him baby. What's going on between them? What the hell? Aren't they mortal enemies? Aren't number 1 and number 2 supposed to be rivals for life? Damn you, Jamie. He must have some dirt on Thomas. Thomas has to be doing this against his will. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. How could Thomas like him? Wah.
What do you do? What do you do?
My plan was to find a random excuse to break up with him once I got first place. Now the whole school knows. When I reclaim my spot, what if everyone calls me a heartless player? So many people have a crush on Thomas, they'd bury me in insults. Thinking fast, I yelled at the gossiping crowd. What are you talking about? I'm not dating him. Baby is my nickname. You're lying. Then why did Thomas only drink your water? And why did he let you wipe his sweat? We're just good friends. What's wrong with giving a friend some water and wiping their sweat? I spotted the class president, Mark, walking by. I remembered the second step. I quickly pointed at him and declared, I have a crush on Mark. I grabbed Mark's arm, not daring to look at Thomas, who I had just thoroughly humiliated. I had barely started the hot phase of doting on him before I was already playing cold and bringing in a second target. It's not what I wanted to do, but sometimes plans just change. In a bathroom stall, Thomas was spanking me. My eyes were red as I cried and thought to myself, this second move is seriously effective. He's mad, isn't he? Jealous, right? This is good. Thomas, you can't win against me. Just give in and fall madly in love with me already. I'm not your boyfriend? Then who is? Huh? Speak up. He grabbed my ass, squeezing it hard. You won't even admit we're dating, and then you turn around and confess to Mark? Am I that embarrassing to you? It hurt.
NGH. No, no.
Is he taller than me? More handsome? I shook my head. No way. Does he get better grades than me? My butt was pressed against the stall door. I felt a chill run down my spine. This wasn't good. Or is he bigger than me? I turned to look at him. It was impressive. There was even a tattoo with a faint pinkish hue. Couldn't help but swallow. He saw me looking. He's not better than me in any way, yet you chose him to cheat on me with, even hanging on his arm and acting all cute. He slammed into me hard. I trembled in pain. In between gasps, Thomas's voice was low and raspy. Baby, can you please stop messing around? Not a chance. The hot and cold phase wasn't over yet. I dragged Thomas to the dining hall for dinner. 1 second, I was secretly holding his hand under the table. The next second, I took my tray and sat down next to Mark, leaving Thomas behind, his face ashen. Jamie, have some of my braised pork. I blocked his chopsticks. Don't worry about me. You just eat. Oh, Thomas walked past me without a word. He dumped his barely touched meal into the trash and left. For some reason, I suddenly lost my appetite too. I put down my chopsticks and stared blankly at his retreating back. That night, I got back to the dorm. Surprisingly, I didn't see Thomas doing homework at his desk. The top bunk creaked. Thomas was lying up there. I decided to keep the cold phase going and didn't say anything to him. I heard a sob from the top bunk, and my eyelids twitched. Is he crying? Because of me? Wow, this second move is really working. He's so upset he's not even doing his practice exams, just hiding in bed and crying. Hearing him toss and turn, my heart softened. I climbed up to check on him. Thomas's eyes were closed, his eyelashes trembling. He was handsome even when he was sleeping. I couldn't resist touching his face. Maybe I should stop being cold for now and switch back to hot. Babe, Thomas, why are you crying? He opened his eyes to look at me, then looked away, his lashes drooping. He didn't speak. He looked so pitiful. Talk to me. His voice was thick with emotion. You don't like me anymore, do you? You're gonna break up with me. I didn't answer. You don't want to break up with me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was ecstatic inside. My heart was racing. You like me? He nodded. I pressed on. How much? So much. So much that I want to give you everything. I can give you everything. I've done it, right? I don't believe you. Not unless you give me your money. All of it. He just looked at me without a word. I sighed. Of course. He was still faking it. Damn it, I was fooled again. All that excitement for nothing. A black wallet appeared in front of my face. All my cards, cash, and bank slips are in here. I stared for a moment, then opened it. In the clear outer pocket was a small photo of me. Can I spend your money? Spend whatever you want. I'm gonna max out your cards. Max them out if you want. I'm confiscating your photo. He fell silent. It's the only one I have. He hesitated, then said, take it. I closed the wallet and tucked it back under his pillow. I'd done it. Thomas was finally in love with me. I couldn't stop a grin from spreading across my face and rewarded him with a kiss. I decided it was time for the reformed bad boy return. Can we not break up? We won't. Then can we go public? Huh? Thomas stared at me with his big, teary eyes. Was this a honey trap? Sorry, but I choose my kingdom. No. He closed his eyes, hurt. Why? Don't you feel possessive of me at all? Don't you want everyone to know I belong to you? Nope. We're gonna break up sooner or later. When that happens, what if your fans see how sad you are and decide to beat me up? Now's not the right time. Your fans have finals too. We need to keep them stable. He didn't seem to care. Who cares about them? But I'll listen to you, baby. You're so kind. I'm not kind. I'm incredibly wicked. I want to shove you aside and pull you down from your pedestal. In the classroom, I was working on a problem when a bottle of milk suddenly appeared on my desk. I looked up. It was Mark. What's this for? He scratched the back of his head. It's warm milk. You should drink it while it's hot. How nice of you. I reached out to take the bottle. A dark, menacing glare shot over from the side. I quickly pulled my hand back. I don't like milk. Oh, well, what do you like to drink, Jamie? I'll buy something else next time. Nectar of the gods. Mark walked away disappointed. Mark. He stopped, a hopeful light returning to his eyes. Take the milk with you. Oh, just then, Kevin walked in from his game. Yo, class prez, what's that in your hand? Mark, looking dejected, handed the milk to Kevin. Milk. It's warm. You can have it. Help you grow. Kevin took it and gratefully smacked his butt. You're the best. Mark's face instantly turned bright red. What are you doing? What's wrong? Why is your face so red? Kevin then reached out and pinched his cheek. Mark ran off, humiliated. Having witnessed the whole thing, I was just speechless. What was that all about? In the blink of an eye, it was time for final exams. In the exam hall, my pen flew across the paper. Afterward, I prayed silently. I couldn't fail again. I had done everything I was supposed to. All I needed was a little luck. After the last exam, we could pack our bags and go home for summer break. The results would be posted a week into the vacation. During the break, Thomas's thirst for me skyrocketed. He was asking me out on dates every other day. So annoying. The scorching hot out. Only a masochist would go outside. Hiss, ha. So cold, so cold. Drink some water, baby. Gulp. Gulp. This is all your fault. I told you I wanted grape-flavored, but you came back with pineapple. Look. Now my tongue hurts from the cold. I stuck my tongue out to show him. His gaze deepened. I licked the leftover wooden stick. Then I saw something and pointed a trembling finger. Thomas. Am I seeing things? Thomas looked over, his brow furrowed. What's he doing here? It was Mark. And with him was my good friend, Kevin. But what surprised me wasn't that they were here together. It was that Kevin was leaning in and whispering something in Mark's ear. His eyes were intense, his movements intimate. A moment later, Kevin's hand slid naturally around Mark's waist, leading him to lean back against a large tree in the amusement park. Then he pressed in for a kiss. His other hand was shamelessly caressing Mark's butt. I was dumbfounded. So that's what was going on between them in the classroom the other day. Turns out he was just like me. He was into guys. Good view? I nodded subconsciously. The atmosphere next to me instantly dropped 10 degrees. Not good at all. Hey, it's our turn. Hurry up. I want to ride the pirate ship. After one ride on the pirate ship, those two were still kissing. TSK, TSK. Couldn't even watch. That night, Thomas wanted me to stay out with him again. No way. I refused immediately. I was dead tired from a whole day of running around. If we did anything else, I'd fall apart. Ding. A notification sound from my phone. The final exam results were posted in the class group chat. I suppressed my nerves and clicked to open it. After the little circle in the center of the screen spun a few times, the grade sheet loaded. Damn it. Thomas was first again. How? I worked so hard. How am I still in SEC? My name wasn't in the second spot. My hands shaking, I scrolled down. 6th. I was in 6th place. How? My world came crashing down. I froze on the spot. Seeing that I wasn't moving, Thomas came over to take my hand. I shook him off and looked at him with tear-filled eyes. He started to panic. What's wrong, baby? Pushed him away. Wiping my tears, I ran off. My seduction had failed again. His grades were steady as a rock, while mine had plummeted. There was something worse than coming up empty-handed. It was shooting myself in the foot. I was sobbing uncontrollably. In the darkness, my phone lit up. Baby, was I bad today? I'll never ask you to stay out all night with me again. I'll buy you popsicles, grape-flavored, a whole box. I found a part-time job tutoring middle schoolers. As soon as I get paid, I'll spend it all on you. I love you. Please don't ignore me. I thought long and hard. And then it hit me. People are different. Our energy levels are different. Thomas was bursting with energy. He could be all over me, practically wanting to die on top of me, and at the same time he could focus on his studies, ace his exams, and hold his spot at number 1. But me, I had limited energy. I dedicated a chunk of it to dating Thomas, and what was left wasn't enough for studying. Comparing myself to him was just torture. I felt a sense of defeat I'd never known before. I wiped my eyes with the palm of my hand. I shook my head. Forget it. I give up. I don't want to be number 1 anymore. I opened our chat and sent Thomas a message. Thomas, I don't like you anymore. Let's break up. Typing. Bubble appeared instantly. I didn't hesitate. I immediately deleted him as a friend. After all this effort, I was just tired. I sighed. I'll just be number 2 from now on. What's so bad about being number 2? It's pretty good, actually. I wouldn't have to give speeches about my study habits or write those annoying reports. And I wouldn't have to revolve my life around Thomas, trying to find new ways to seduce him. I tried to console myself, but I couldn't stop the sadness from overwhelming me. Tears streamed down my face. What is this? Why is my heart beating so fast? It's fine. It's just withdrawal. It'll get better. It has to be. I curled up in bed and finally cried myself to sleep. At the crack of dawn, I washed my face, my eyes swollen. A puffy-faced pig stared back at me in the mirror. So ugly. I unlocked my phone. Messages from Thomas popped up from other apps. I deleted them one by one. Thomas, please stop liking me. Our relationship was a mistake from the very beginning. Use this summer break to forget about me. When school starts again, I won't fight you for first place. I'll quietly go back to being number 2. We'll go back to being regular classmates, not too close, not too distant, just polite and detached. The message notifications finally stopped. Patted my cheeks. Back to being free and single. How should I spend the rest of this vacation? I called my good buddy, Kevin. Hello? Kevin, why does your voice sound so weird? And why is there someone else's voice? I'm busy with something right now. Gotta go. Happy holidays. Beep, beep, beep. Holidays? I opened my calendar. Oh, today was Valentine's Day. The something Kevin was busy with. I thought about the voice on the phone that sounded a lot like Mark's. Then I thought about the amusement park yesterday. I got it. So Thomas, he probably had the same plan. He was clinging to me, not wanting me to go home. He wanted to take me somewhere to do stuff. And then, at the stroke of midnight, he'd tell me I love you so much. Just thinking about it is so sappy. First day of senior year. I deliberately used the back door and sat down in my seat. Kevin was sipping milk next to me. Are you two fighting? I shook my head, pulling out my review notes for the placement test. We broke up. That explains it. From the moment you walked in, Thomas hasn't taken his eyes off you. I looked up, surprised, and caught Thomas's intense stare. He froze for a second, then quickly turned away to face the blackboard. The test wasn't hard. It was all stuff we'd covered before. Even Kevin, who hated studying, managed to fill out his entire test paper. However, Thomas's name did not appear in the number 1 spot. In its place was my name. My wish had finally come true. I was number 1. The thing I had fought for so long to get. I got it so easily the moment I gave up. How did Thomas's rank drop so low? Did something happen to him? I don't know. If something did, it must have been huge. Did you see him in class? He seemed totally out of it, like a zombie. He wasn't even taking notes, just staring into space. Oh my God. You guys will not believe what I just saw in the professor's office. Thomas was getting chewed out. What? It was because of this placement test. Did you know Thomas's answer sheet for the essay section was almost completely blank? My heart started to pound violently. Patted my cheeks. Jamie, you got first place. You should be happy. Come on, be happy. That night, Thomas didn't come back to the dorm. As I was making my bed, I heard a commotion in the hallway. I opened the door. Quick, quick. Thomas jumped into the lake. I think he drowned. They're doing CPR. He used to be such a good student. I don't know why he'd suddenly do something like this. My mind went blank. Without even putting on my shoes, I stumbled out and ran with the crowd. By the campus's artificial lake. I pushed past person after person, shoving my way to the center of the crowd. A person was lying on the grass, someone performing chest compressions on them. A few teachers were holding flashlights. Thomas? Was that Thomas? I was about to walk over when the dean grabbed my arm. Student, we're performing emergency rescue on a drowning student. Please don't come any closer. The dean's hand held me tight. I couldn't break free no matter how much I struggled. Thomas, I need to see Thomas. Let me see him. Let go of me. I completely broke down. I screamed, forgetting the pain of his grip. A voice cut through the noise. Why do you care? You don't even like him. I shook my head violently. That's not true. I do like him. I love Thomas. The hand let go. I ran like a madman toward the person lying on the ground. But I accidentally crashed into someone's arms. He was soaking wet, and his body was ice cold. Cough. The person on the ground woke up. Only then did I see his face clearly. A hand reached up and touched my cheek. I looked up. It was Thomas. He wiped away my tears. Don't cry. Thomas had jumped into the lake to save someone. After being soaked in the icy water, he came down with a fever. He was sleeping fitfully, his eyes closed. Every now and then, he'd let out a raspy cough. Watching him, my heart ached so much I could barely breathe. Jamie, you really are a bastard. For over a month, who knows how many times he thought of you. How many times he cried. You succeeded. You dragged him down from his number 1 spot and toyed with his feelings. Then you threw him away, cutting him off completely. He apologized, tried to comfort you, and begged you, all without knowing what he'd done wrong. And in the end, he still couldn't escape getting dumped. Looking at his pale, worn-out face, I remembered the night before Valentine's Day. He had asked me with such a hopeful look, "Can we not go back tonight?" Thomas must have had a whole romantic evening planned, maybe even with a surprise. And what did he get? All that love, completely rejected. I wrapped my arms around him tightly and couldn't stop crying. My voice was thick and nasal. Thomas, babe, let's not break up. I'll never mention breaking up again. Early the next morning, I woke up. The bed next to mine was empty. Thomas hadn't waited for me. I pulled out my phone, my fingertips hesitating. Only then did I remember I had deleted all of his contact information. I started sending friend requests one by one. The corners of my mouth drooped. Thomas definitely hadn't forgiven me yet. That's okay. He used to be the one to comfort me. Now it was my turn to win him back. After class, I gave myself a little pep talk. I walked over to Thomas's side. Babe, are you hungry? I have a snack cake. Thomas kept writing, ignoring me. So I put the snack cake on his desk. Then I took his water bottle, filled it up, and placed it next to the cake. After evening study hall, I caught up to Thomas as he was walking back to the dorm. I slowly reached for his hand. He immediately shook it off. He quickened his pace. I didn't give up, chasing after him. He suddenly stopped. I stumbled and crashed into his back. Didn't you want to break up? What are you doing now? I rubbed my nose. I was just being impulsive. Impulsive? How were you being impulsive? Because you did badly on the exam? Or because I let you get first place? It's because your grades dropped, isn't it? He looked hurt. Otherwise, why would you come running back to me right after becoming number one? I'm not as good as you. I don't deserve to be number one. You're smarter, you knew how to use our relationship to make my grades drop. I froze. Thomas knew. Looking at him, more vulnerable than I'd ever seen him, my voice caught in my throat. That's not it. I mean, at first, that's what I thought, but so you admit it. He gave a humorless smirk, then turned and walked away, leaving me standing there. For a whole month, I tried to win Thomas back. I bought him water and breakfast and gave him snack cakes every day. I even secretly did his laundry, even though Thomas's attitude was still cold. Kept at it. One day, I was quietly washing his underwear in the dorm. He caught me red-handed. He frowned and snatched the underwear back. My wrist was red from all the scrubbing, with little specks of blood. Thomas instinctively took my hand and looked down at it. I was secretly pleased. While he was distracted, I stole a kiss. He just frowned and ran off. Midterm exams. I deliberately didn't answer the questions properly. Most of the sections were blank. I wanted Thomas to know that what I really wanted wasn't first place, but him. But I didn't expect Thomas to go off script. He didn't answer his questions properly either. And now look at us. I was dead last and he was second to last. We went from the top of the class straight to the bottom. In the office, our academic advisor's face was a kaleidoscope of fury. His glare looked like it could swallow us whole. After getting a legendary chewing out, Thomas and I walked out of the office, our heads bowed in silence. I gently hooked his pinky with mine. He didn't pull away, so I grew bolder and laced our fingers together. Didn't you want to be number one? I pretended I didn't know what he was talking about. Number one? The top student? Oh yeah, I love the guy who's number one, and his name is Thomas. He couldn't help but laugh. Then he sighed softly. He lifted my chin and made me look him in the eyes. Do you love me? I stared for a moment, then nodded. I love you. Then can we go public? I said, okay. He finally pulled me into his arms again. We went public. As expected, his fan club exploded. I met their jealous, envious glares with a defiant stare of my own. Then I grabbed the collar of Thomas's shirt, pulled him down, and kissed him. I watched smugly as they ran off, heartbroken. A triumphant look on my face. Humph. From now on, Thomas is my man and my man alone. He can only drink water I give him and let me wipe his sweat. He also has to kiss me, hold me, touch me, and wash my underwear. He's madly in love with me. You all can find a new crush. Out of guilt for what I put Thomas through, I now basically never refuse any of his requests in bed. This has led to him becoming bolder and bolder, more and more outrageous. One day, I was in the bathroom putting on the new outfit he bought me, a ridiculously short skirt. I looked in the mirror, feeling awkward no matter how I posed. Baby, are you ready? Coming. I pushed open the bathroom door and, under his watchful gaze, slowly walked to the bed. I sat down on his lap. The sky immediately cooperated with a clap of thunder. I put on my cutesy voice. Babe, I'm so scared. Can you feel how fast my heart is beating for you? Saying that, I reached for his hand. I couldn't find it. Both were on my butt under the skirt. I managed to pull one out. Under his wolfish gaze, I kissed it. Then I laced our fingers together and said the words he had said to me countless times before. Babe, I love you so much. Thomas and I time traveled together. We ended up in a parallel universe. Here, besides the primary genders of male and female, people also had secondary genders, omega, beta, and alpha. Thomas presented as a male alpha with lychee-scented pheromones. But unfortunately, I never presented. I became a beta with no pheromones at all. I couldn't respond to him or soothe him with my own scent. It made me really sad. Why wasn't I a sweet, fragrant omega? In the dorm, after a sticky kiss, Thomas, still unsatisfied, bit down on the back of my neck. There was no scent gland there to mark, just smooth skin. Thomas's mark would fade in 3 to 5 minutes. I stroked his broad back soothingly, trying to give him a sense of security. Babe, it's okay. I'll always love you. I'll never leave you. Thomas rubbed against me uncomfortably. Baby, the back of his neck was burning up, his glands were releasing pheromones. And I couldn't smell a thing. I thought resentfully, this world's setup sucks. No, I have to find a solution. Hey Mom, that psychic you were talking about last time. Yeah, that's the one. I'm just curious is all. I know. Love you, Mom. Smooches. On Saturday, I yanked a sleeping Thomas out of bed, and without any explanation, dragged him to a farmhouse in the suburbs. The gate to the house was open. I called out a few times, but no one came out. Hesitantly, I walked in. In the courtyard, a tan, elderly man was meditating on a straw mat. His eyebrows were completely white. He had a neatly trimmed beard, and his long hair was tied up with a wooden pin. His back was straight, his eyes closed. He looked every bit the part of a wise old sage. I reached out and took the various gifts Thomas was carrying. I spoke respectfully. Mr. White, the old man nodded. Before I could finish, Mr. White pointed at Thomas, his eyes still closed. What about him? The master pointed a finger at Thomas. Why does the master have a stutter? I get it. He must be a recluse, not much contact with the outside world. That's why his speech is a little rusty. Perfect. This master must be the real deal. I turned around, about to ask Thomas to step outside, but I saw him frowning. He looked annoyed. I quickly went over to soothe him. As soon as Thomas was gone, I eagerly turned to Mr. White. Master, you must know why I've come to see you, right? He nodded. I got excited. Then can you tell me how we can go back? The master stroked his beard. A few seconds later, he spoke slowly. I listened with rapt attention. Do more. Do what? I thought about the handcuffs Thomas and I had just been talking about. Then I thought about what Thomas and I were doing right before we time traveled. A light bulb went off. Of course, time travel must require the exact same conditions to happen again. Time, place, action, all of it is important. That's how it always works in the movies. Could it be? I made a gesture at the blindfolded master. Do you mean he and I have to do this? The master nodded. I was overjoyed. Looks like I guessed right. I pushed the gifts closer to the master. I noticed a QR code on the wall. Without a second thought, I transferred $500 to the master. Then I bowed in thanks and politely said my goodbyes. However, after I left, in the courtyard, the master put on his sunglasses. Do more. Do. Do good deeds. Following the master's advice, I started checking in with Thomas every night. We went through one outfit after another. We used one prop after another. I hoped that one day I would wake up and be back in our original timeline. However, I had practically stuffed Thomas full, and there was still no sign that we were going to travel back. Did I get scammed? Thomas bit down on my collarbone. Baby, you're distracted. I lifted a limp arm and gave him a wet slap. Oh, look what you've done to me. There isn't a single patch of good skin on my body. It's all your bite marks. He lowered his head and kissed the spot he had just bitten. I wrapped my arms around his neck. My heart ached. Sigh. My poor boyfriend. During gym class, I was playing badminton with Mark, who supposedly smelled like milk and was an omega. I played distractedly. For some reason, ever since I woke up this morning, My legs felt heavy and my head was fuzzy. I couldn't seem to muster any energy. Was it because it was an unusually hot day? I wiped the sweat from my neck. I called for a break and sat in the rest area drinking water. On the basketball court not far away, Thomas dribbled past 3 players and made a beautiful layup. I shot to my feet. I was just about to take the opportunity to shout about how handsome Thomas was and flirt with him, when the world suddenly started to sway. My vision went black in waves. My legs went uncontrollably weak and sore. In the moment before I fainted and hit the ground, I saw Thomas running toward me, a look of terror on his face I had never seen before. When I woke up again, I was lying in a hospital bed. My body still felt exhausted and abnormally hot. My voice was hoarse. I spoke to Thomas, who was watching me gently. "Do I have a fever?" He touched my face. "No, baby. You presented. You're an omega." I thought dazedly. That psychic really knew his stuff. He was just a little off on the method,